Hello there, I'm the Biblical Translator, and I tend to paraphrase what's in the Bible, or I just give my take on it. Doesn't mean that what I say is fact, it's just a different way of looking at it and trying to let the Bible talk to us in today's language. So I wanted to kind of go over or talk about what is a cheerful giver. God loves a cheerful giver, so what is that? I'd have to say that a cheerful giver is somebody who, it doesn't mean that they necessarily have to be generous or over generous. It just means that they give from their heart. They give from a place of no resentment. They don't feel forced to do it. They just feel as though it's something they want to do. A lot of people, especially these days, they do things under obligation. I mean, even in relationships, people try to please their wives or please their husbands, and just to keep them quiet, just so that they don't nag, just so that they can get on with what they're doing. That is not a cheerful giver. You would need to be able to do what it is for your spouse from the depth, from the warmth of your heart, not because of the repercussions, not because of the consequences, not because you want some loving later. No, you do it because it's something you want to do and you enjoy doing it. You enjoy serving your spouse, you enjoy giving to your spouse, whatever it is. But people, especially these days, there seems to be an ulterior motive for giving, isn't there? Usually there's an end goal. And I guess if you're thinking about end goals, you're thinking about give to get, or investment. Why am I going to invest in this person, and what am I going to get back out of it? That is not a cheerful giver. A cheerful giver will enter a relationship, will enter a situation giving out of the goodness of their heart. It's like some people at our workplace, we've got a new drive where to give coats to people who are poor. So they've put these big baskets out and they've told us to look through our wardrobes and look for old coats. Now, I've got a couple of coats. I haven't worn them for about 2 years. They're goose down and they're lovely and warm and they're very fashionable, and I don't really wear them. Now, if I was to take one of those goose down coats out and put it in one of those bags, there's something inside me that would niggle and say, oh, Myrna, you can't leave that coat. You can't give away that coat. It was too expensive. I know you don't really wear it, but you don't really want to give it away. It's too good. If I have that in my heart, I'm not a cheerful giver. I would need to have those two coats and think, Myrna, you don't wear it. You don't need it really. So why don't you just give it away? And do it with a light-hearted and giving, a giving heart. But a lot of us, that's what we do, don't we? We try to, we're always, even though we don't want things sometimes, we don't want to give it away. What we do have, we don't want to give that away either. And when we do give something away, we want something back. How many of us are real generous givers? How many of us give freely, no burden, just out of the generosity of spirit? How many of us do that? When you, even when you enter a relationship, let's say entering a relationship, I like talking about relationships because they're a large part of our life. So you enter a relationship, and when you meet that person, what are you expecting to get out of that relationship? A lot of people, they enter a relationship, they make it look as though it's under the guise of love. And a lot of times, superficially, it is. The romance, the honeymoon period, that kind of stuff. But when it comes down to it, it's not really about love at all. Because my mother always said, when poverty strikes, love goes through the window. It's not really about love. It's what can you do to complement me? How am I better having you in my life? What can you give me, and what can I give you back? When love is conditional, or when giving is conditional like that, you're not a cheerful giver in that situation either. It's a practical way to look at things, of course. It's a logical way to look at things, of course. But it is not the mind of a cheerful giver. A cheerful giver, there are no conditions. There are no ultimatums. There is no resentment. There's no heaviness of heart or heaviness of spirit. It's just about giving from a generous and pure heart. And God loves a cheerful giver. It's just like people who, whether they pay their bills or whether they pay their tithes, you know, sometimes when people pay their bills, they pay it begrudgingly. They don't mind using the service. They don't mind using the electricity and the gas and, you know, having a roof over their head. But when it comes to paying, they don't like it. There's a heaviness in their heart. They resent it. Some of them, they wait till the last minute. They wait till that red letter comes. They resent giving, even though they're benefiting from the service. And if that is your spirit, you need to change it. You need to be able to say, look, I'm living in this situation and I enjoy living in this situation. These are the consequences of that. And I'm going to give willingly and freely. I'm not going to begrudge just because. And people have a lot of just because. So we have to think nowadays about our spirit of giving. Our spirit of giving is about freedom. It's about happiness. It's about contentment. It's about feeling as though you have more than enough. It's about knowing that your cup will run over when you give. People who hold on tight to what they have, it will never increase. It will just stay the same. But they do say that love, like money, is like a revolving door. It needs to go around. It needs to be given in order to get back. If it just stays one way, it's not going to grow. So, I think I'm going to stop it there. I hope that this little, it's in Corinthians, by the way, about the cheerful giver. But I'm just going to stop it there, and I hope you found this useful. Sorry about the shaky phone. I haven't got it standing up on a stand, so my hand aches, and then I have to switch it over. And so, yeah, that's my explanation. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.